From being accused of promoting gambling to kids, to becoming pay-to-win nightmares, these Roblox games, once loved by millions, have now turned into some of the most hated titles on the platform. Today we're breaking down these controversial games that sparked outrage and divided the community. Let's start with Pet Simulator 99, the game that's taught kids how to gamble. It all began with Pet Simulator, where players would hatch pets from loot boxes using in-game currency. It was addictive, but repetitive. The first game saw massive success with over 1.1 billion visits. This led to sequels like Pet Simulator 2 and Pet Simulator X, but it was the release of Pet Simulator 99 that really sparked controversy. In Pet Simulator 99, rare pets like the Titanic ghost face cat had a 0.05% chance of being obtained from the in-game egg. With thousands of players opening eggs, many ended up spending tons of real money just to get a chance at these rare pets. It was the definition of gambling aimed at children. Many felt exploited, and accusations of predatory practices spread across the community. Despite the backlash, Pet Simulator 99 continues to be one of the top games, but the controversy remains. Next, Bloxburg, once a beloved life simulation game inspired by The Sims, has fallen from grace. Bloxburg has become increasingly irrelevant, with players disappointed by the lack of updates. After it became free to play, many who had already purchased it felt cheated, and the game's slow pace of updates left fans frustrated. Bugs and unpopular changes like the ticket system in the Halloween update have caused a split among players. Some loved it, others hated it, but the updates never seemed to live up to expectations, leaving Bloxburg stuck in a rut. Another game that's seen a decline is Arsenal. This FPS was a major hit when it launched, reaching peaks of 80,000 concurrent players. However, as time went on, updates became sparse, and when they did arrive, many were disappointed. Promised features like new game modes and maps often went missing, leaving the player base frustrated. While the Halloween update brought some hope, Arsenal's lack of innovation is pushing players toward other games. Let's talk about All-Star Tower Defense. This anime-inspired tower defense game saw massive success at first, but its popularity quickly began to fade. The developers stopped delivering substantial updates, and when they finally did release one, it was underwhelming. The inclusion of non-anime characters like 24K Golden and Ice Spice confused fans. The game also suffered from a power creep, where new characters constantly rendered older ones useless, with newer anime tower defense games offering better graphics and smoother gameplay. All-Star Tower Defense has struggled to maintain its player base. Royal High, a fantasy roleplay game, was once adored for its magical high school setting, but it's now being called a diamond farming simulator. As the game shifted focus to expensive game passes and overpriced items, players found it impossible to get their favorite dress or accessories without either spending real money or grinding for hours. Many players have voiced their frustration, accusing the developers of turning it into a cash grab. To make matters worse, content creators were punished for criticizing the game, causing even more outrage within the community. And then there's Dungeon Quest. This RPG was once a fan favorite, offering new dungeons, seasonal events, and gear, but after its acquisition by Voldix, players noticed a shift toward a repetitive grind. Dungeon Quest started to feel like an endless cycle with little innovation and content that failed to excite the community. As the player base shrank, many were left wondering if the developers could ever bring the game back to its former glory. Now let's talk about Blade Ball, a game that was once the fastest growing action title on Roblox. Developed by the Wiggy Group, it amassed billions of visits in just a few months. However, things quickly took a turn. The developers started focusing on pay-to-win mechanics, with powerful skins and abilities locked behind high paywalls. Players who couldn't afford these perks were left feeling left out. New players often found themselves at a massive disadvantage, facing off against those who spent huge amounts of money. This created a toxic community, which only made matters worse. Despite still having a decent player count, Blade Ball's reputation is in ruins. So why do these games fall apart despite starting with so much success? It usually boils down to one thing: greed. When developers start prioritizing money over the player experience, it leads to frustration. Whether it's microtransactions, lack of updates, or a focus on pay-to-win mechanics, players quickly grow tired when they feel like they're being exploited. But it's not all bad news. Even though some of these games are struggling, their dedicated fan bases continue to support them, holding on to hope that things will improve. What do you think? Do you agree with these picks for the most hated Roblox games? Or do you think there are other games that should have made the list? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content.